Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back as we're about to start work on converting this Vauxhall Movano into a lovely little camper van. So hopefully you saw the little introduction video that I posted the other week, just showing what the van looked like when I first bought it. Obviously it's had a really good clean out since then. I've got rid of all of the internal van racking, the raised flooring, things like that. And as you can see, I do have some insulation boards ready to go as well. But before I start putting all the insulation in, there's a few external jobs I want to start cracking on with first, just because it's going to make life a lot easier to do some of the external work. Including in this video, we're going to be mounting a nice big powerful solar panel up onto the roof, but we're also going to have to remove the old roof rack off the roof as well, because obviously I don't want the roof rack putting any sort of shadow or shade across the panel. Now, since I've last done a few conversions, the power of solar panels that come in pretty much the same sort of size has just gone crazy. This is a 440 watt panel, and I could have got an even more powerful one in pretty much the same size as well. But when you're combining it with the solar controllers, you need to try and match the wattage with what the controllers can do. And this is a 100/30 Victron smart solar controller. This is one of the Bluetooth ones, so you can monitor the solar output on your phone. But these do start to get pricey with the higher wattage panels, and obviously with the plans that I'm going to have for this van, which is going to include a 12-volt water heater. Obviously the more power I can get out with the solar panel, the more efficient everything's going to be. It's going to make sure all the batteries are charged up, even if I'm powering the water heater, which is going to be quite a power drain, but as long as it's on while the solar panel's getting some sun, it shouldn't be an issue. But that's going to be a job for way further down the line. So as I said, today this is going to be mounting the brand new solar panel. This is a JA Solar, so it's a full branded one. It's 440 watts, and the price of these has come right down as well. A few years ago you would have been paying easily in excess of 100, maybe 120 pounds for something this powerful. These days I picked this one up for 62 pounds, and that's just a bargain. As I say, for the amount of power that this can give out, even if it's not a really sunny day, it's still going to be giving out a good amount of power that'll still be able to charge everything that's going to be going on in the van. So I say 440 watts, and that's going to be combined with the Victron smart solar charge controller. And I say that's the Bluetooth version, so you can monitor it on your phone, so even if you're away from your van, you can see exactly how much power the solar panels are generating, and your battery health and voltage, things like that as well. So it's all going to be fun and games. But I say, to start with, we're going to have to get up. Oh, it's a bit windy today. We're going to have to get up and get the old roof rack off. Obviously I don't want any sort of shade or shadow that's going to be going onto the solar panel itself. So I'm going to have to get all of these roof rack bars off. We're then going to have to fill in all the holes that the roof rack's leaving, because they're all bolted through the actual roof of the van itself. So we're going to whiz through this. I won't cover this in massive detail, it's just going to be a case of unbolting some bolts. I'll be sealing it up with some bitumen tape and some adhesive sealant as well. I've got some Sikaflex that should be able to cover in all these holes, especially combined with the bitumen stuff as well. And then once all that's off, we'll be able to get the solar panel mounted up. We'll get the cables ran in, and obviously it's going to make a lot more sense to get all of the cabling ran before I start putting all the insulation into the side panels and things like that. So let's get some tools out, let's get some prep made. We'll get the roof rack removed, we'll get the brackets mounted onto the panel, we'll get that mounted on, and we'll see what it all looks like when it's all fitted in place. So let's make a start. Right, well that was an absolute ball ache to do on my own. It's always awkward when you're having to bolt in or unbolt anything that's on the roof of the van when you're just on your own. You have to be up and down trying to tape spanners and things in place just to make sure that they don't move. But that is the roof rack finally off. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of rust treatment around all of the holes where the previous brackets were, just to make sure that there shouldn't be any rusting or anything coming through, even though they were pretty well sealed from the looks of it. Can't see much rust coming around the holes at all, but just to be sure, I'd want to make sure that it's future proofed as much as possible. Then once I've rust treated it and let that settle in a little bit, as I say, we'll have a look at sealing all the holes up, and then we'll be able to get the solar panel up, get that mounted and get the wiring put in. So let's get all these holes treated and then get them all sealed up. Right, so off camera I've been busy preparing all the bolts just to secure up and seal up all of the holes, just while the rust treatment's been drying up on the holes on the roof itself. There wasn't really much rust up there at all, but it was just more of a preventative layer just in case. Now, to make sure that none of the holes themselves actually leak, as you can see, I've been sandwiching a layer of butyl tape between the bolt and the washer, and then on top of the washer itself is then going to be a layer of sealant that's going to go all the way around the bottom of the washer, so then when that gets squished between the roof lining and when it's getting secured with the bolt, it's going to have a layer of both sealant and butyl tape, just to be sure that none of these holes are going to be leaking at all. Now, it's going to be a bit of a pain to try and do this on my own, so I might try and see if I've got a neighbour local who can just offer 2 minutes just to help. If not, then as I say, I'll struggle on and get it done either way. But I need to get this done before I then start mounting the solar panel, and I'm going to use exactly the same method when I'm mounting the solar panel as well. I've got the brackets. I always use brackets rather than gluing panels down. I know some people glue panels down, but I've just never liked the thought of just relying on a little bit of adhesive to make sure a big glass panel like that isn't going to go flying off when you're going down the motorway. So I'll be using exactly the same sort of process again when I'm mounting the solar panel. As I say, just layer of butyl tape between the washer and the bolt, then adhesive on top of the washer itself, and then when it goes through the hole, it's just going to get squished up, making sure that it's going to be fully watertight, so there won't be any leaks or drips or anything like that. It's the same process I've used pretty much when I've mounted all the solar panels on all the previous conversions I've done as well. I've never heard of any leaks coming through on any of them. I'd rather be doubly safe, doubly sound and secure, rather than just relying on a bit of tape or a bit of sealant. As I might as well double up and make sure there's going to be no leaks at all for years to come. So let's get all of these little holes sealed up from where the roof rack was. Then we'll get the panel mounted onto the brackets and we'll get some more fresh holes drilled. I was hoping to maybe use some of the existing holes where the roof rack was, but the panel itself is wider than the distance between where the roof rack was, so I'm going to have to drill a few new holes. But as I say, as long as it's all sealed up with exactly the same method here, there should be no leaks. It should be nice and secure and solid, and then we'll be able to get the cabling ran and make sure that the panel's all wired up and working. So let's get these holes sealed up with these, and then we'll get the panel in place. Right, so now I've got all of the holes up in the roof fully sealed up. They're all bolted up, they're sealed on the top and underneath as well. They are pretty much as watertight as I can get them, and I do not think they are ever going to leak. As I say, I've gone above and beyond what should be required to seal them up, so I'm more than happy that they are going to be watertight for years to come. So now it's time to get the solar panel itself mounted. Now to mount this, as I say, I'm going to be using the usual solar panel Z brackets that I normally used before. These are quite simple and easy to do. You mount them underneath the solar panel like that. There's a little lip, so it actually sits on the panel itself. There'll be 2 per side, and then that just has 2 mounting holes that will drill through the roof. And then, as I said, we're going to get them through the roof and fully sealed up as well. Now I'm going to be having the solar panel mounted as far forward as I can, because this van has one of those whirly vents on the top here. I don't like that. It's very, very noisy when you're driving above 45-50 mile an hour. It rattles like hell, and I don't really want a whirling vent always going when the bed's going to be round about this area. So if you're away camping and it was a windy night, that would just be rattling away. So I'm going to actually replace that with a pop-up vent with a fan inside it as well. That'll probably be in a later video though. Today it's just a case of getting the old roof bars off, sealed, and getting the solar panel up, mounted and tested. So I'm going to be drilling a couple of holes on the underside of the panel. As I say, these just mount on the side there, so it's just going to need 1 hole for this mounting slit, and that'll bolt through. 2 on each side, so that's going to be 4 mounting brackets in total. Once they're mounted, it's easier to do all this while the panel's down from the roof. So I'll get the brackets mounted, we'll get the panel then up on, then I'll be able to mark out where I need to drill the holes for the mounting bolts themselves, drill a few holes through the roof, get it all fully secured, then we'll get the cabling run down and give it a test. But it's coming along nicely, so as I say, let's crack on, get the solar panel up on the roof and get it mounted on.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
Right, so now the panel's fully mounted in place, all the bolt holes are fully sealed up as well. Now I just got the cables to get through the roof and down to the solar controller. As you can see, I've got some cables here, they're all crimped up with the ends on as well, and I've got an IP65 waterproof junction box there, so I'm just going to be connecting the cables up, drilling a hole through, another hole through the roof as well, and that'll be again applied with a hell of a lot of sealant just to make sure that that's going to be fully waterproof, watertight as well. I've used these junction boxes in pretty much all of the previous builds that I've done, never had a problem with them. That's what they're there for. They are fully waterproof, IP65 rated, so pretty much the highest rating that you can get. So I'm going to get these cables connected up, get the hole drilled through, then we'll get the box mounted on the roof. And once the cables are through, we'll get it mounted and connected up onto the controller and give it all a test. But it's coming along quite nicely, so let's get these final finishing bits all sorted out. Right, so just to do a little test on the solar controller, I've got it wired up onto my phone as on the Bluetooth as well. Now it's not showing any wattage because I've gone out and got a brand new banner battery, and this has come fully charged already, so it's barely drawing any power from the solar. but I have recently in another video just installed a turbo vent fan as well. And again, this is just rudimentarily wired in just for testing purposes, because I've got to get all the headlining in place and things like that. But it does show that when I do put power to the fan, the power draw on the solar does actually increase, which shows that it's all working properly as well. So if I just connect this up onto the negative, you'll see it should jump up in power. Now obviously the fan doesn't actually draw a lot of power, it's quite low, but you can see it jumped up to nearly 20 watts there, and then back down to 10, because as I say, this battery is fully charged, so it's only taking a very small trickle amount coming in, and it's not exactly a very sunny day either at the moment either. But it does show that when there's a load applied to the battery, the solar panel is kicking in and it is giving off power as well, and it also shows it's connected up to the phone via the Bluetooth, so it can be monitored as well. I might pick this up again when there's a bit more draw going through the battery as well, but as a rudimentary test, just to make sure everything's wired in and everything's working. The battery is connected, as I say, the charge controller's on. You can see it's already on the float as well. The battery was fully charged, so it didn't need any sort of charging at all, so I can't really show a massive amount of power coming through the solar. That, and today is a very overcast, cloudy day as well, so it's not the best day for solar either. But as I say, as soon as the load is given to it, you can see that it does jump up in power. So it goes to show that everything is working. But as I say, this fan itself, it's not a particularly high draw, high power fan either. It's only a small little fan inside it, so it's not as though that's going to draw a lot of power. But at least that shows that the solar panel is connected, it's all wired up and working to the solar controller as well. And as I say, this is the Smart Solar from Victron, and I'll put links in the description in case you're wanting to go out and buy any of the similar sort of things that I put in as well. So hopefully you found this video useful, and in the future videos this is all going to get tidied away, put inside some units and things like that as well. And I say this is just a rudimentary test, just to make sure that everything's working, all the cabling's fine, things like that. So hopefully you found the video useful. If you did, consider giving it a good old thumbs up, and consider subscribing if you haven't already, as we go along converting this little Vauxhall Movano into what should be a lovely little campervan conversion. Thanks for watching. Cheers.